And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, in today's video we have got some transfer news for you, and yes, it is some positive one. You can read that there in the title with regards to Jefte. It's some positive Rangers transfer news, so we'll discuss that in detail a bit later on. But I want to discuss the whole Todd Cantwell situation because it is rattled the fan base over the last 12 hours. I wouldn't say rattled all of the fan base, but rattled, or certainly rattled half of the fan base going into this sort of cup final week. Now, yesterday, of course, he put up a story saying, "Shush, Burger, please," laughing and joking on his story. It was then deleted. Then he was putting some other ones up as well, and it kind of just, you know, as a token, it was like he was prepared for the final, putting the messages on the ball and all these kind of things. And whilst I don't mind players doing stuff on their social media, look, we're all human. I actually kind of like the authenticity. He's not got a social media manager. He's running his social media himself, which I do think is a lot more real. But Todd really needs to start reading the room. Todd needs to start reading the room, especially the fact that, yes, I think he's a talented player. Yes, he's been very, very good. But we've started to see the best Todd Cantwell over the past 2 seasons when the title is over. I think when Celtic won the league, obviously not mathematically, or they weren't confirmed champions last year, but we started to see his really, really good Todd Cantwell in the post-split fixtures. Just before they won the title, he was one of our standout players. And he was kind of playing and you know, doing this whole social media show and all the rest of it. And again, to be fair, I do think he has been pretty good. I think he's been putting sevens in over the turn of the year, and he's been a peak really over whilst the team's been doing really bad. I do think Todd Cantwell has been a very, very good player for us in these post-split fixtures and kind of when we've been poor, when we've kind of bottled the title. But it shows something about him, is that we start to see the best about him when there is nothing to play for, that the title is done and all these kind of things. And after, you know, we drew 3-3 with Hearts at the weekend, the day that Celtic are lifting the title. Him and Fabio Silva are sitting around posing and doing 6 or 7 photos for their social media when they're scoring goals, different celebrations. And as I said, I don't mind when you're winning, and when you're winning doing that, do as many photos as you want. I really couldn't give a crap. But they need to read the room, or Todd Cantwell needs to read the room, that they've lost the title. They've lost the title the same day that your rivals are lifting the title. We were in a title race with them. The day that they're lifting the title, he's, after a 3-3 draw against Hearts, he's putting loads of photos up. Following that, then going into the Scottish Cup final, he's laughing and joking on his Instagram story in the lead up to the final. And I don't mind about, you know, being prepared mentally, but why is he talking so much? Why don't you just focus on the game? Because there's a good chance we're probably going to lose this weekend. As I stated in yesterday's video, I don't like to be pessimistic, but I don't really have that much confidence in us going into the cup final. It just makes him look like an arsehole if we lose it at the weekend. People are just going to look at social media, and it's just something I don't think that needs to be there. And again, I'm going to credit the player because I do think he has been our better player. But still, it's all about reading the room. I genuinely think some of these players just need to read the room a little bit, and they will just be stayed out of trouble. Just do your talking on the pitch. Why doesn't he put these Instagram stories up? I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But as I stated, Todd Cantwell has rattled half of the fan base. I suppose that's a bit of news for you if you're not on Instagram and all these kind of things. But yeah, it's just something that just doesn't need to be done. Again, if you win the cup final, put as much shit up on Instagram as you want. But I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. But I'm not that in the dark age that he should be deleting his Instagram and all these sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm in the middle with it. He's been good. I will give him that. But just don't put a target on your back. Just go about and do your business. Just do your talking on the pitch and then post as much shit as you want next week. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, let's move into some transfer news. As I said yesterday, it does seem as though Rangers are closing in on that deal now with Jose Cordoba, and it does seem as though we've agreed a contract with him. The clubs are agreeing a fee for around £3 million for the defender, it's being said. Looks really freaking exciting. I've been doing a little bit of digging. Looks really exciting, and as a player that's been really, really talked about very, very highly. So a player that I'm potentially looking forward to seeing at this football club. And it's the right manner. He's got 22-year-old centre-back. He hasn't got a history of playing in the Championship. He hasn't played in the Championship. Can you believe that? Oh my God, it's amazing, isn't it? How amazing does that feel that we're not getting a defender that's played in the Championship? We get someone that's young. He's 22. Don't see centre-backs are very, very young being 22-year-old. We're getting a next big thing, not some washed-up dog that's been sent to our football club. So I'm buzzing with that. And then also today, of course, while you're here, is regards to Jefte. Now, this was a transfer saga that was going on throughout January, and there was like Fabrizio Romano was the one that dropped it first with regards to Fluminense. He was currently out on loan in Cyprus at Applewell, and essentially there was talks that Rangers could have got a deal done, basically take the player off Applewell who was on loan, and then we would agreed a fee, and then he would have come to Rangers in the January. However, it kind of fell through, and it was expected that we had a gentleman's agreement in place for the summer. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been hearing from the Applewell president that they had a buyout fee or a buyout clause and all these kind of things, and they were going to try and trigger it and try and get the player to their football club. And whilst, again, I do believe they have a buyout fee, reports today from very trusted sources in Brazil in terms of the Fluminense. There are Fluminense sources are stating that despite Applewell's interest in keeping the player, Jefte will be a player at Rangers in Scotland from July onwards. The deal is confirmed. So I think that's a very, very, very good sources coming out from Brazil. Until I hear from my trusted sources, I won't done deal it on the channel. As I stated, guys, when I done deal something, that means I'm really confident that the deal was done. So I'm not quite there by done dealing it yet, but very, very good sign from Brazilian sources that he will be signing and he will not be staying at Applewell, and he will be joining Glasgow Rangers in the summer in July. I think the fee's around £500,000, so quite cheap. But certainly a player that looks exciting. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with regards to him. But I like this transfer model. Cordoba, Jefte, obviously Cortez in January, Diamande in January. They're players that have a ceiling. They haven't played in the Championship their whole career. They haven't, been around and been journeymen. I'm glad. So another one of them players, but we'll find out over the next sort of thingy. But it does look very, very clear. It does look like Koopman isn't messing about, and it looks like Koopman isn't going to be going for these crappy players. Players that have played in the Championship and players that are playing at the bottom end of the Premier League. We need that business model of being like a Benfica, being like an Ajax Amsterdam of the past, being like a PSV Eindhoven, being like a Feyenoord, buying young players and selling them high. Who would ever thought that business model worked? Did you know that? I've been saying it for so long, we don't need to be short term. I think Celtic will genuinely overtake us in trophies, and there's a good chance they could overtake us in league titles, but we need to stop having short term goals. We need to stop having short term goals as a football club. We can create history. It might be 2 or 3 years worth of pain, but create a winning team and create a team full of young, hungry players and build something that can create a sustained success over a long period of time. Sometimes you have to go backwards to go forward. So we might have a little bit of pain, a bit of teething period with these younger players in this new system. And Celtic might overtake us with trophies. To be fair, there's probably a good chance they will overtake us with trophies and potentially league titles. But you take a step backwards, and then of course you get your shit in order, and then forward. Then we can go over and overtake again and go on a sustained dynasty of success. But Rangers fans, some positive news in regards to the transfer stuff. Let me know what you think of the players that we're currently linked with, Cordoba, Jefte, all these kind of players down in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.